Hello everybody, it's Christine. It's time for Mix It Up Monday. And Mix It Up Monday is where we take a sketch and we implement mixed media some kind of way. And this month they actually chose my sketch. And I had forgotten about this sketch. What I've got is one photo. There's actually a little wood grain background here. I may have to get into my scraps for that. There's a floral. And then I have like, y'all, I have so many papers on here. I'm hoping, what I want to try to do is kill my September 2023 hip kit. That's what I got going on here. And oops, sorry about that. It's like spinning around here. But I'm looking at this, I'm going, holy cow, Christine, you got a ton of layers on here. There's this scallop here too, and I think I've got a good solution for that. I thought about stamping that, but I think what I'm going to do is stamp the title, because my picture is me, and I'm just kind of showing it's a selfie. We were on a cruise for Christmas, and we were stopped off in Cozumel. Is that right? Yeah. And they had a lady doing like the little hair wrap things, right? So she's got these colored little, I wish it was a little bit brighter, but I think my phone or the printer or something, I don't know. Anyway, she wrapped my hair with the little strings, and I thought that was me. My daughter got it done too, so we got like little twins. And so I have this stamp set here from Stampin' Up. I do not know how old it is. I wish they put the dates on the little tags, because then I could tell you. It's quite old, but the font is really neat. And I think what I'm going to do is spell out Whimsy. Or maybe Whimsical, maybe is what it's going to be. I need to kind of play with it. I got to find the W's. I mean, they're kind of on the bottom down here. XYZ. WXYZ? Yeah. So like Whimsical. But they're all different little colors. And I won't know the color of ink I'm going to use until I figure out what my base layer is going to be. So, but I have all these embellishments. I have all this. This is cute too. This little fibers and stuff. So I don't know how I might use that unless I do it instead of paper across the top here. Maybe I'll do that, because this could be really cute across the top. And then I could just wind one of these around it too. So I might do that. Maybe I'm solving my problems here. I still have this as well, but I don't think I'm going to use it if I do the stamping. Unless I do like So Whimsical or something like that, maybe. That's kind of where I'm starting. Here's kind of the things. I think what I'm going to do is cut this scallop here along here, and that'll be my scallop. It's not quite as big as the one in the sketch, but I think I can make it work. I mean, I have plenty of paper. My issue might be all the layering I've set myself up for. Anyway, that's what I'm starting with. Give me just a second. I'm going to trim this. I've got to figure out my layers, and I'll be back on in a minute. Okay, you guys, I've got my photo, and I have matted it on like the pink with the coral kind of pattern. And then I got into my stash, and I found a wood grain packaging that I used as the next mat. I thought I had some well, I don't know why I thought it, because I usually use it up pretty quickly. Hip Kit does have wood grain patterns they'll send sometimes, but I didn't have anything left. I even checked my scraps, I had nothing. So that's why I got in my packaging. And then I've got this floral here that's now the biggest mat, and I'm going to scuff the edges of it. But I will end up getting into my inks, you guys. I'm going to confess, I got scared about the stamping. Once I got this layout kind of underway and all that, I was like, I'm going to booger up that stamping. Woodblock stamps for me are not always my friend. And I didn't really, because I can't see what's happening necessarily. I did not want to mess it up. So I'm going to change gears on the lettering. So I'll end up using some Distress Oxide as both inking the edges of some of the papers, and I'll end up using some splatter. So I don't use quite as much mixed media as I actually kind of thought I might initially, but that's okay. This layout still turns out amazing. So what I've got right now is I've got that paper that has like the, I don't know, what do you call that? Like a starbursty type thing, but it's just kind of the angled stripes or whatever. And I've got that little tissue paper or crepe paper, I guess. And I'm wrapping that around. I'm going to use a little bit of glue on the back side to kind of grab it. And that's going to be kind of in place of in the sketch, it kind of almost looks like paper, a different pattern, but I'm using this instead of that. And then I'm going to take the little blue pom-pom, and I'm going to lay that over the top of it. I kind of wrinkled this up. I just wanted a little bit of texture. I almost thought to like really wrinkle it or whatever, but then I got nervous about tearing it. I didn't want to mess it up too badly. So I didn't do too much wrinkly, just a little bit of wrinkly. And then I've got my blue pom-pom here, and I'm going to lay this across. I'm going to end up cutting away because I'll just use some double-sided tape. I don't wrap it around. I thought about it, but it'll be too bulky, I think, so it doesn't get wrapped all the way around. I'm just going to go ahead and use double-sided tape across it, and I'll trim it off so it doesn't go off to the sides there. And then I did do that scallop cutting on that yellow. I've cut the little scallops. It's not as big as the sketch again, but since it already had scallops on it, I thought it was a really good option. And I kind of wrinkled rough the edges of the little scallop up. Now I'm going to fast with this stuff a little bit. I kind of try to figure out, okay, where is this going to lay? I do scuff the edge of that little striped paper there. In fact, I kind of I don't know. No, I don't really scuff everything else. I'm going to end up in a second with a couple more papers. I think I just, do I even ink those now that I say that? I'm not certain. I've got this, I'm so fast around this right here that I'm trying to figure out like where does these layers need to go that allows the pictures to, or the picture to kind of fit inside my layers here. So this right here is going to be kind of the main like base where I would have stamped if I were going to stamp. But like I said, I got kind of nervous, so I don't actually end up stamping those letters. I'll just put them away. It's okay. I've used them recently, actually. I did it in, it was one of our Stamp It Like It's Hot prompts, and I don't remember now if it was stamp a title or stamp letters or something like that. So I did use it in the last couple months. So it's not like it's been sitting there for years and years not being used. And it is a cute font. And if I didn't really care too much about messing up, I might have actually stamped it on white and cut them out, but I was being, in my head, I thought, oh, I don't want to spend that kind of time. But y'all, I end up making shaker pockets in a minute, and I spend way more time than I thought I would on this layout. Okay, so this is kind of the bottom half, and I'm going to stick this up underneath here. And now I'm working on, I've kind of adhered everything down, and now I'm going to work on the banner, the little fishtail banner, or what do you call that, that's going to go under the photograph. And initially, I start with this pink zigzaggy stripe thing, which is actually the mat that's behind the blue there. But as I'm doing this, I flip it over and I see this little rainbow thing, and I think, oh, I kind of like that. I'm going to pick it up one more time so I can cut it, and I'll flip it back again to the pink. And I really debate on this. I'll put this pink down again, and then I think to myself, no, I kind of like the white. I'm going to do that. It was actually like the rainbows. Now, that being said, I'm going to take my ink in just a minute, and I'm going to ink the edges of this white paper with pink. I think it's Worn Lipstick is what I end up using. And I was really proud of myself. I grabbed the right brush this time. It has the pink handle on it. So I've got the pink handle, so with the pink ink. And this was kind of, I mentioned this in another video, that I've got all these little brushes here with colored handles on them. And of course, the very first time I used the blue and the green or whatever, I mixed them up and put green on blue or something like that. So I was proud of myself this time for remembering to use pink with pink. Now, here's where I'm kind of doing, I did the edge of the photograph, as I mentioned, or the mat for the photo. And then now I'm doing the edge of this little banner thing here. And I'm going to actually leave all that ink. The first time I cleaned it up when I was doing on the photo, but the second time here, I'm going to leave that there because I'm going to actually get out my water, like pen or whatever you want to call it. It's like a water brush thing. And I'm going to use it to kind of create some sprinkles in just a second. So I'm going to pull, it takes me a second to find this little thing. It's over here in these cups in my, what is that called? A rags cog or something? Rag cog? It's like a cart. And I have a little deal with a bunch of stuff in it. And it took me a second to find that little pin in there. And I just go ahead and sprinkle these all around this little blue thing. I probably could have done more mixed media. I thought about packaging technique and all that. But honestly, I kind of got it in my head as I was going through the chipboard. I think I saw them already. I haven't pulled them out really, but I think I knew these were in here. I'll end up finding some chipboard frames, and I wanted to make shaker pockets. So I did not do the mixed media as much as I probably should have for a prompt that's mixed media based, but I did get some on here, so it's okay. I've met the intention, right? I've got the inks on here. Here's where I'm putting the title down. It is going to still be So Whimsical, but I did pull out this cute little font that's like a scripty font, and I think this looks so cute, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was really happy with this little font. It's an older one too. I've had it, I got 2 packages of it, which tells me I think I got one in a grab bag. So it's probably from early last year. I want to say it might be a springtime kit that they had, but I love how this looks. And I'm going to get into my embellishments here. So this is the chipboards, and I'm going to dump all these out. And this is where I find the frames, and I think I want to make a few shaker pockets. Now, confession time, you guys, I don't think I have any sequins, like none. I need to go digging. There's one drawer I haven't looked in that I might have some. Otherwise, I have 0 sequins, you guys. And I get such FOMO when I see some of these people with these really pretty shaker pocket, like sequin mixes. But I just haven't bought any because I haven't really made shaker pockets very often. But I decided for this layout I wanted to. That being said, I'm going to go over into my stash, and I have these things called color flakes or something like that. They're kind of old. The company that used to make them is called Stampendous. And I think, as I recall, the way we used them was we used embossing powder. And then you would sprinkle these little color flakes into some embossing powder, and it like, I think that's right. I'm almost say that's what it was. And I think there was like these flakes, and I think they had like little beads or something. They had different little textures or whatever. And I had 2 of those over there, and they're actually in like the blue and the purple. And I was like, okay, this is a perfect little set of flakes here that I can use instead of sequins. So I'm finding my little embellishments here, and I'm picking out those frames. So I'll end up pulling out the frames. I'll end up pulling out some button looking things out of the chipboard. There's a floral like arrangement on the left-hand side of that left-hand frame there. I do pull out that little The Best. Now, that being said, I don't know why I use The Best. That doesn't really mean a whole lot. Other than I really like the shape. It's kind of a little arrow and stuff. So, you know what? It's okay. I pull out these little chipboard buttons. I kind of glue some of them on top of the frames, although I kind of move some around too. And I'm going to cut away because, honestly, you guys, this video got really long. I spent so much time on this layout. Again, this is another one of those I don't really intend to spend this much time, and then I did. So you can kind of see my shaker pockets now. Do you see my ones right there to the left? It's kind of at a crazy angle right now, and I'm finishing up this last one here. I used the back side of one of the papers that had like little polka dots, little colored polka dots, and that's the back side of my little shaker pockets here. And I'm going to end up gluing these down. I'll have to pull out my Nuvo glue. I will use Nuvo glue. I'll also use a little bit of foam. I use foam tape, of course, to make the shaker pockets, and I have to use a little bit of foam tape on some of the other pieces, like the bow in the upper right up there. There's this little bow right there. I'm going to have to put basically 2 layers of foam because otherwise it will not stay. So I'm using Nuvo glue, and I just really, like I said, I have a fun time with these little shaker pockets. And I have more frames over there too, you guys. Look, there's a round ones over there, and there's some additional square ones. And so I'm sure in the future I will be making some shaker pockets. So everything's glued down now, and there's those 2 containers of the little flakes right there on the left-hand side of me. And I have made a rule for myself. I'm going to be using either enamel dots or pearls or jewels or something on my layouts this month. That's kind of my thinking. Unless there's just some reason that I just cannot, like if it looks terrible or whatever. But generally speaking, I think it's fine. And so I pulled out these ones, which are kind of this cool, pretty, like teal, half pearl color, I guess. I guess it's like a teal. I think it went really well with the color of the main paper. And I just sprinkled those around. I'm going to put them in kind of each of the little clusters. It's kind of a diagonal, and then the upper right. So I think this turned out so pretty, you guys. I'm really happy with this layout. I don't know that I had enough mixed media for it to be like a work of art with mixed media, but the layout itself I think is really cute. There's my shaker pocket, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out the playlist below. There's always a bunch of people playing along. And so this should be fun. You guys have a wonderful day. And I'm doing Baby Got Scraps, so I'm trying to have a layout every day. We'll see what happens. But just kind of watch. I'll do premieres, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.